classrooms and that some people asked me to bring in who had me last year. I have these cards. I have them lots of different genres, but I definitely have them for Gothic, which is what you're doing. On one side of the cards, it has the criteria for Gothic fiction. And on the other, it has a prompt. It's either going to be a visual prompt or it's going to be a written prompt. Where are you likely to see that kind of thing again? Yes, in the exam. This is a section 3 composition section of the exam preparation technique. It's to help you get used to the idea of looking at something or reading something and being able to kickstart your imagination. So with that in mind, you can choose either one of these. Not these, because these are mine. I want you to go to the back and quickly choose one of these cards. They haven't been laminated yet, so watch the dirt. Yeah, sure. Now, yeah, so it's got to be Gothic.
So it can be a novel extract.
Well, yeah, I don't mind. Okay. All right, guys. Shh. You're overthinking it. You are not tied to these prompts for life. You can change them and exchange them later. It's just for us to look at now. Excellent. All right. Now, let me make clear, you are not required to use these for your creative, but you are going to use them today for an activity. If you want to, however, we can let you use them for your creative. That is perfectly fine. You can take them home. It's all good. Now, I'm going to look at 2 examples that I have here today. I know that my story that I must come up with must have some but not all of these elements. Death, decay, fear and deterioration, supernatural themes, revenge, obsession, tense mood and atmosphere, shadows, darkness. Protagonists, characters with psychological damage. The real threat may be the character themselves. There can be mystery and suspense. There can be vulnerable female characters. Nightmares, foreshadowing and visions. Dark, abandoned, decayed settings. A sense of discomfort, of being unwholesome, resulting from breaking social taboos, overwhelming darkness, hopelessness, claustrophobia and disintegration. Do I have to have all of those? No. But you must have some elements of that to be Gothic, and if you notice some elements of that in the first section of the exam samples, oh, we've got Thriller in the background, excellent. If you have some of those in the sample text you're given during exams or in class comprehensions, be considering that they may be Gothic fiction. And if they are, and if you notice it, think about what is psychologically concerning, what are they looking at? Now I'm going to tell you one of the samples that I picked up. Staring into the hollows housing my eyes, I wonder if it's a good thing the mirrors lie, because then the meat sack can be a lie too, so I hope. I'll read that one more time. Staring into the hollows housing my eyes, I wonder if it's a good thing that mirrors lie, because then that meat sack can be a lie too, so I hope. What already is starting to be a little bit Gothic about that? Look through the card, put your hand up. I already picked some. Yes.
It's describing, it's not really describing the body as what the person, who the person is, it's describing as like a separate object and thing.
There's definitely an idea that there's some sort of distancing from their own body, perhaps this body dysmorphia or a sense of being disconnected from themselves. That also brings in the idea of your body decaying or perhaps being alien to you. It's also bringing the idea of psychological damage. What could have caused it? What could be the reason? So you've got aspects of a Gothic story already there. You now have to frame a why, a how, a where around it. Now, when they give you writing, my suggestion is find at least somewhere that you can put all of the writing into it. You can't have something like this in the beginning of your story and have the rest of the day about him picking sunflowers and feeling really happy at the end. This must form the basis of the centre of your story in some way. Either the resolution, the beginning, but the tone, the voice must remain the same, and that's what they mark you on in the exam. Did anyone choose a written text? Which one did you choose?
The ground is lava. Your feet blister and burn as you sprint between the safety of shadows. Everybody knows you can't wear shoes anymore.
Excellent. So it's the idea that the ground is difficult, that you're burning, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's in his mind. Or hers, or theirs. So, you've got some ideas there. Who else has got another written one? Yes, what have you got?
An old man dresses silently as he buys an avocado. You already knew you would never own a home.
Excellent. It's the idea of disintegration of hopes and dreams, psychological damage, generational distrust and perhaps abandonment. And of course, old people, we know that we are close to death at all times, so you've got that aspect too. Hey, I'll make it to the end of the lesson, I promise. Now, I've also got ones that have pictures. Now, pictures are tricky. We know we have to maintain the tone and the ideas in a written text, but when people get a visual prompt, they actually can quite often go terribly wrong. For instance, here I've got a girl with a wound in her back and her heart is being used as a balloon. Now, I don't literally have to have that picture in it, but I have to have the ideas of it. It might be that my character at some time feels that perhaps she is just, that her feelings have to be suppressed, or that her real self has to be, her heart has to be used as a display for other people. It could be looking at, because it's a girl, I could look at the idea that women have to have a display of their affection for the world, for their partner, in terms of patriarchy, have to be a good girlfriend. I could look at the idea of her dress being quite a formal one, that, you know, looking, maybe I could set it around a school ball. We're going through all of the amounts of work people do towards it for that one moment to simply be displayed in a picture, to conform to society's values. But I have to have something about that feeling of your heart being ripped out, the feeling of your heart being constricted. I'd have to have something about the way she's dressed, something about the colour blue and red being so prominent in these as some two opposites. The fact that she's got her heart on a balloon string with, in this case, barbed wire wrapped around it. The ideas have to be there. I have to have that imagery coming through. Even if it's only metaphoric or in terms of a simile or figurative language, I can't just mention it once and move away. I'll give you an example of how a student messed up a few years ago. In fact, no, it was last year. They had a picture of a lighthouse. They correctly went, wow, opportunity, I'm going to use everything I know about Gothic. And I agree, it would be really great. They did the whole story inside this room. The person breaks out, they run away, they look back, they see it was a lighthouse, they failed. Why? Pardon? They only included it once, and if you were inside a lighthouse, what would you automatically notice? Yeah. How? Yeah. The fact that it's round. If you were in a round room, would you notice it was in a round room? Would you notice that there were stairs going up? Would you be able to smell the ocean? Would you be able to hear the ocean? Yeah. You can't do that. It's got to be a central part of it, or you won't get any marks for it. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about how you use the prompt cards? Hands up, yes. Hands up, no. All right. They are. You don't know how to use them?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Yes. Oh, you're just scratching.
Yeah.
All right. You are allowed to have the remainder of this lesson to work on your creative, and you are welcome to have a look through my prompt cards to see if there's any that you want to take home with you. Yes.
How long does the story have to be?
I'm happy for it to be 2 to 3 pages. Okay. Well written is better than quantity. Oh, are they threatening each other? I might turn the video off. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone need any assistance at this point, or are they happy to work?